Well, ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? My name is Jared Bear, Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear. Today's date is Sunday, November 10th, 2024. I am flying solo currently right now as we speak. Dad and Amy went uptown. I think they went uptown to take care of a few things. They should be walking through the door any second. And because I have cameras on my house, I can, you know, check it out a little bit. I can see who's pulling in the driveway and who's not. Hello, Melinda in chat. Um, so there's a lot to go over today, this week. Um, so no one's in the driveway, by the way. So a lot to talk about. Week in review. We, the nation. I don't want to say we because I wasn't involved in this, but the United States has spoken. Donald Trump is going to be the 47th president of the United States. And I know coming here, you probably don't want to hear political talk. Well, Jared, I come here to, get a break from all that. But it is major news of the past week, so I have to bring it up. Donald, damn, why can't I speak? Donald Trump is president elect, 47th president of the United States of America. And most every county in the United States was red. I mean, that's really hard to believe considering um, almost every county in the country was red, meaning that they voted Republican. Now, we've had 4 years of Trump. We know what Trump is capable of. We know what he's like. And we've had Trump. So I'm it's just so hard to say. It's so hard to explain because there are people I love and care about, friends, family, they voted for Trump. And we know what Trump is like. We've had 4 years of him and his big mouth. And this country, again, has voted him back in. I understand the Democrats, they've really done a bang up job of trying to keep shit in order and trying to make this country go. Um, but I mean, we're talking about a guy who he's actually a known criminal. He was convicted, or not convicted, but he's got 34 felony counts against him. He was impeached. He filed bankruptcy 6 times. He's a sexual predator, and now he's going to be running the country again. I mean, the record shows, that's what the record shows. And everybody voted him back in. And I sign on Facebook and I see all these people who are just so proud and I voted in Trump and we're taking this country back. And I don't think you realize the implications of voting for Trump. Now I'm a non-voter, so yeah, maybe I don't have room to talk, like I shouldn't speak because I didn't vote. But even still, watching this from a distance, I'm thinking to myself, these are people who are, they're really good friends of mine. I'm not going to dictate a friendship over politics. And I've seen that on Facebook. I've seen it happen in real time where people are arguing, bickering back and forth, and then they end up deleting and blocking each other off of their social media, which is really sad. I'm not going to do that. I don't discuss politics on Facebook. I'll talk about it here on my YouTube channel. But I've seen it happen in real time where perfectly good friendships end up going down the drain because they disagree on politics, but it's more of a moral issue, I think. That's why a lot of people are in disagreement. And abortion seems to be the big one, which is kind of why I'm just so uh I'm befuddled at the fact that so many of my friends, family, loved ones voted in a guy who wants to punish women for making decisions about their own bodily autonomy. And I know how people feel about that. I understand both sides. Well, abortion's killing babies, and I understand. I've heard it. Okay, I've heard it all. Um, but at the same time, a woman should get to decide what she wants to do with her bodily autonomy. It shouldn't be up to a government. It shouldn't be up to anybody except for the individual. I'm pro-choice. So seeing this from a distance, just watching from a distance and as a non-voter, I'm kind of looking at all of my friends, my loved ones, and I'm thinking to myself, so you voted for a guy who wants to punish women, and he's gone on record as saying this, there should be a punishment for women who get an abortion. He didn't specify, like late term abortion or he didn't specify at which stage of the pregnancy. He just said that women should be punished for having an abortion because it's murder. Well, it's not murder. Um, it's it's really disheartening to me to know that so many people that I love and care about voted for this guy, and I can't help but wonder how they feel because I talked to one of my Republican voting friends about this. I said, "Now look, I understand you vote Trump, but what about the underage girl who was raped?" And yes, women get raped too. I'm not dismissing that. But what about the women, the little girls, rape victims? You think a 10, 12-year old should have to carry a baby to term? They're kids themselves. And you're against that? And well, there's circumstances surrounding it, and the very person that hello, Amy.
Hello.
The very person that I've had that discussion with just walked through the door
What's that discussion, sir?
about abortion and how Trump wants to, yeah.
I won't even go into it.
Well, because we're talking about the week in review, and you guys are just in time, actually, about 7 minutes. So Trump, I was just telling the audience about Trump being reelected, and he wants to punish women who get an abortion. They seek an abortion. He wants
Right.
to.
That's all I'm saying.
He said there should be a punishment for women who seek an abortion.
I don't feel there should be either.
I think because and this is the trouble I have. So many of my friends, my loved ones, people I consider family, they voted in Trump. They voted for Trump. So you're telling me, and I'm not basing a friendship on politics because I see that on Facebook all the time lately and it's disgusting. But I can't help but wonder what they're thinking when they vote for that, because what if that was a underage girl?
Or let's say it was one of their girls
Yeah.
that was young.
Yeah.
Are they gonna make that girl go and carry that baby to term, deliver that baby,
Yeah.
and then have that effect of, okay, my baby looks like his father that raped me?
Right. The baby looks like the abuser.
Yes.
Right.
This
The rapist.
woman, this child has to live with that all its life
Yeah.
until that child is 18
Yeah.
years old and moves out.
And you know what the simple solution, everybody's saying, well, just use protection. Well, you know what? Not everyone has access to contraceptives.
Do you think a rapist is going to take time out? Wait, I got
No, they're not going to wrap it. No. I'm so glad you guys showed up.
Or you got your teenagers out there now that are Natrisha's age.
Yeah.
Okay, mom and dad go get her contraceptive
Yeah.
so she can't end up pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what the girls do?
They don't
They
use
turn
them.
around and don't do it.
Right.
They don't
Right.
take it. Well, we want pregnant. I'm sorry, you are too young. You can't afford it.
Right.
Get off the subject.
Well, I I brought it up, and yeah, you're right. I will, and I will eventually get off the subject. But because Trump was president-elect, this is big news. He is going to be the 47th president of the United States.
Now, if they get him on federal charges, he's not going to be, because they're trying to get him on federal charges.
Well, because now that he's president-elect, he's trying to give himself a pardon. So he will face no consequences for the crimes he's committed.
But he's president?
I-
I'm gonna go to the kitchen.
It's excuse me, it's a touchy subject for him. We've had this conversation before in one of my Sunday video updates. And I'm not here to upset anybody, but I can't help but wonder because I have so many friends and family who voted Republican. And it's like you're for a child because it's not just, you know, well, if they choose to have sex, it doesn't matter if they chose to have sex. What if that pregnancy is detrimental to the woman's health? What if the mother could die as a result of a pregnancy? You're going to force them to carry a baby anyway? Like their life doesn't matter? Well, what about the life of the baby? Well, it's a fetus. It's not actually a person. It's not personhood. It's a fetus. Yeah, I mean, it's a long-winded, hard-driven conversation, and I try to have decent conversations with people like this, but they don't get it. They think, well, Jared's all for murdering babies. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not about murdering babies.
What happened to a woman's right to her body?
And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about bodily autonomy.
So what are they going to do? Start
So-
telling them they got to get fixed so they can't have
Well,
kids?
consider this, Dad. And I want for everybody watching this, consider this. I'm a child of cancer survivor, okay? They took a kidney out of me, surgically removed a kidney. That was the only way that I would, they would proceed with the chemo and the radiation, as if they removed the kidney that was affected. Now, do you think by law, do you think the government should be able to tell my dad or my mom, if she was still here, do you think the government should force someone against their will to donate an organ? That is the question. Do you think the government should force, Dad? Do you think the government should force you? Not saying you wouldn't because you're my dad, but do you think the government should force you
Ain't nobody going to force me to do anything.
to give up an organ?
It's my body.
Okay, just because, and this is me saying I want my dad's kidney, and my dad doesn't have a say so.
So let me ask you a question. Is it all right for a man to have 10 kids, 15 kids, and the state pays for them?
No. That's a different subject. That's a different. No. I'm talking about bodily autonomy. Pregnancy is the same thing. A woman's body is an incubator for a fetus. What I'm asking is, do you think the government should force a woman to remain pregnant? Force her against her own will to remain pregnant? It's about legality.
What was that? They do if that was their child.
Because I've got one kidney, and I'm asking, should the government force you
No,
to give me one of your kidneys?
no, hell no.
There you go.
But no,
There you go. But the government shouldn't force you is the point.
no, they shouldn't.
The government, so Trump, he wants to force women against their own will to remain pregnant. And people who voted for Trump are complicit with that. And and this is why Amy gets so hot-tempered. She gets fired up. And for good reason, We're good. Amy and I are always good. But it is a conversation. It is a topic that gets her furious because she has her opinion. And I have, we all can agree.
I have one question.
What?
What would happen? Okay, what would happen if Trump's wife got pregnant by another man? Would he tell her,
Yeah.
you got to get an abortion? No, now you can't. Now you got to have that.
Yeah.
man's
Now she's got
that
to,
you don't want.
right. She's got to have that other man's baby.
Exactly.
Because you think that even your wife, the first lady, should be punished. If she wants an abortion, she should be punished according to you, Trump.
It's your own wife.
I feel if the child is too young,
Right.
the parent should be able to sign a paper saying it's okay to give my child an abortion.
Right.
If
Yeah.
the parent doesn't sign, then the parents need to help that
Yeah. Yeah, there's got to be some kind of involvement from now if it's an underage girl, yes, in the event where an underage girl gets pregnant as a result of rape, then yeah, the rapist obviously should be punished. We all know that. That goes without saying. But what about the victim? The victim,
The way I'm taking it, Jared, about the victim,
yeah,
Trump is saying, "Fuck you." I'm doing
that's
what
that's
I
exactly what it
want."
is. That's exactly what it is. He's victim shaming.
Yeah.
He's victim shaming, and the point that, and you're getting it. You're starting to get it. Oh, chat disconnected and successfully connected. I don't know what that's about. But that's the point I'm getting at. I have so many friends who are complicit. They are complicit with Trump's policies that a woman should be punished for having an abortion. And these are people that I love and care about. And they are complicit with this policy that Trump wants to punish people. Well, no, Trump didn't say that.
Oh,
The
so,
fuck he didn't.
for an example, good example, Trump's daughter goes and get pregnant at the age of 12.
Yeah.
Is Trump gonna go and say, "Hey, you're going to get an abortion
Can't.
Can't.
because it's against my law"?
Yeah, it's against the national law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the next thing. Is Trump gonna go and have his daughter?
What if that was his son?
Yeah, or his son.
What if that was his son? Not saying that Trump's son is a rapist, but what if his son went out and had enforced sex on a woman or even any woman, no matter the age? What if so that makes him a rapist? That would make him a rapist. But then you're telling me that that poor girl, that innocent girl, should have to carry that baby? I scared off all my viewers. I scared off on my viewers. I think I pissed them off. Tough shit.
Oh wow.
I don't care.
The only
Uh,
thing I hope Trump does that he did before was the wall.
Yeah, put up the wall, right?
But when it comes to the abortion, I'm out of here again.
Okay, we can change the subject.
Thank you, Jared.
Absolutely, we're going to change the subject because that, and it is a touchy subject, and we don't have to talk about it anymore. But the point I was trying to make is that so many of my friends are complicit with this idea of Trump punishing women, and I think it's wrong.
It's their own body. Let them do what they want with their body.
Abortion, whether you like it or not, abortion is health care. Whether you like it or not, it is.
And no, I'm not an abortion activist or whatever they're called.
I'm pro-choice, meaning that a woman, it should be up to the individual woman. You have that talk with your OB. What would be the best, what do you think the solution would be?
Or if
Interest of the child.
Yeah.
Or person.
Yeah. More or less the woman, because she's carrying a fetus in her stomach. That should be up to her. That should be a discussion you have.
What if it's incest? Then
Well, that's another thing.
looking like the father of the mother.
That's another thing. What if it's incest, right? And that's another one of the issues. And there are lots of other issues about Trump. And I'm not saying that Kamala was the perfect choice. She had her faults too, which is why the Democrats lost this election. But Trump, we've known Trump for ages. Trump is an unknown felon now. He's a criminal. He filed for bankruptcy 6 different times. He said some horrible things about his daughter, saying that if she wasn't my daughter, and he's a disgusting, foul, dangerous human being. And we reelected this motherfucker. Well, we didn't, because we didn't vote. But if you voted for him, you put him back in. So now you are going to take the blame for any fuck up he does. But I don't know why it said the chat was disconnected.
not because you're talking about him. Right?
I got to put something in the chat. Okay, chat's open again. Yeah, Melinda's not even watching now, I don't think. She said hello, Amy. And then now it says 0. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, let's change the subject because this and it's not heated between Dad, Amy, and myself, but Amy being the only woman in the house, it's good to get her thoughts on this. And I agree with what Amy says. There should be some intervention, but it should also be up to the individual, not the government.
Another way they should allow it is, let's say your wife,
Right.
your girlfriend,
Right.
is on her deathbed, and it's the choice of her or that baby.
Right. Right. I can't make that decision for her.
No,
It disconnected again. Well, what the fuck?
the mother of that child.
It disconnects and connects again. What the fuck is going on? Anyway, go ahead.
That daughter of the person
Right.
is the one that should choose.
Right.
Do I want to carry this to term,
Right.
or do I want to terminate it to save my life?
Right. And it's a termination of a pregnancy. It's not murder.
Right.
Right. Right.
And if they can't terminate, then they gotta sit and take
Yeah.
their consequences.
Although the woman could very well die from the pregnancy. People don't realize this either. Pregnancy, it's more than just going to bed and fucking and getting a nut off and getting a woman pregnant. Pregnancy can be fatal for a woman. Pregnancy is dangerous. It changes a woman completely. Now, Jared, how would you know about that? You don't have kids, because I'm not a fucking idiot. I'm not an idiot. Pregnancy changes a woman's body, period. Even if she did want the baby, it changes her body. Everything about her changes. It changes incrementally because it's the hormonal shift. It is postpartum depression. And then you have the fetus who is sustaining itself from nutrients from the mother when she's consuming food and drink. That fetus is sustaining itself based on the nutrients of the mother. It changes a woman's body. Yes, abortion is terrible. I've read,
And we get wider after we've had kids.
and look, abortion's brutal. It's a brutal procedure. Okay, I've read, how abortions go. And it's brutal. Okay, I understand that, and I understand how people are so connected. Who the fuck is that?
It is really
Well, I'm in the middle of a show
they know this.
every week now. Okay. A gift for me? Oh, you shouldn't have. Well, that's a way to change the subject.
And then would you bring grandpa? Oh, okay, I see your grandpa.
Just 1 second, guys. Dad's trying to get the dogs to calm down. So let's see here. Let's see the gift that I was given. You didn't have to do this, Autumn, but is that, huh?
I made it for you.
You made it for me?
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, come here. Come here. Give me a hug.
Okay.
What?
I don't want to be a camera.
Oh, okay. 1 second, guys. She don't want to be on camera, although she already was when she walked through the door. But, oh, another cute girl. And I know this girl, by the way. Hold on. She don't want to be on camera. So 1 second, guys.
You two are young
No, you're
enough,
fine.
even
You're fine.
you, if you want to at least give
You better get one too. I mean,
He's
Hello,
talking
darling.
about the abortion, and you, like I was telling him,
it's a hot subject, and we've had that conversation. But
like you, maybe if you
Whoops.
wanted to put in maybe your 2 cents, would you be
I thought we were changing the subject, Amy. So we have visitors. That dog just does not.
I smell it already.
Nah, we don't abuse our animals, Dad. I'm gonna kick her in the fucking head. No, we won't. We promise. Yeah, it's over here. So we're gonna change the subject because that was a very, it's a topic that gets people riled up. We're talking about Trump, and The abortion shit, which we've had that conversation too. And I agree with I agree with your thoughts. I'm not saying you're right or wrong, but I have my own thoughts and, you know, um, Carly says, now I think I'll go this way. You by yourself? Are you by yourself? No? Your boyfriend's here too? Oh, so you are by yourself. Oh. Ooh. Perfect opportunity to flirt. I tease. So they're all out in the kitchen. So now that I've wasted like the last half hour talking about a very controversial issue. Let's move on. So on Tuesday, it was late Tuesday. I didn't get to bed until what, 4 o'clock, Amy, the next morning, Wednesday morning. I was sick.
Yeah.
I think it was
I think it was the carrots that had been in the fridge for so long.
yeah, the carrot. We had a bag of carrots in the refrigerator. We got a food box from the local church, and I was eating the carrots. I was sitting at my desk eating the carrots, and I guess it didn't settle with my stomach, and I ended up like projectile vomiting. And it's like, oh my God, it's like I haven't been sick like that in ages. Hey, Dad, this is going to be a hell of a distraction with her scratching at the door. Yeah. Because I'm trying to do a show and she's going to be sitting there scratching at the door. It's just going to be a hell of a distraction. Hey, I'm picking on your friend, by the way. I was picking on her. I got my own.
This rod?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, she made him good.
Yeah.
You had a separate loaf there made
All
separate.
right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, separate. Well, thank you, Autumn. That was very kind of you.
Banana bread.
Yeah.
Now, what did you say when I was in there?
No, I was just saying the dog is just she's going to be a distraction, scratching at the door. Well, that Sammy, I was teasing her a minute ago. I said, "Oh, you're by yourself, huh? Boyfriend's not with you, huh? Do a little flirty. Aha." No, I'm only teasing. She knows that. Well, maybe I'm half serious. Huh? No, I'm not kidding. So yeah, something I ate, I think it was those carrots. It was the carrots, I think. They made me really sick. Like I projectile vomited and it's like, "Oh my God," because I couldn't sleep. I was getting cold sweats, like going into panic mode, and it's like, "Oh fuck, I feel sick." And then the next thing I know, just all over. It's like, "Oh." I got sick like 2 or 3 times, but after that I felt better naturally. And I went to sleep finally. And yeah, I haven't been sick like that in quite a long time. I think it was just something I ate didn't settle in my stomach. I'm thinking it was those carrots in the refrigerator because usually I don't get sick like that, not off of just eating carrots. I don't get sick like that. But I'm feeling much better now. And yesterday I recorded a bunch of shout out videos. I have my next string of shout out videos ready for my other YouTube channel for some other subscribers or for some other channels. That is maybe not necessarily subscribers, but they are ready. They are scheduled to appear. Let's see, what else did I do? Oh, I went to Bronner's and did a little shopping over there. I went to Bronner's like 2 or 3 times last week. I was on a roll doing some Christmas shopping and getting some, early shopping out of the way. And yeah, so they're getting to know me on a first name basis over there at Bronner's. I love Bronner's. It's the world's largest Christmas store. And they're getting to know me by name. First name basis. Today, 49 years ago today, was the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Edmund Fitzgerald is, it was a cargo ship. It was hauling iron ore from Duluth, Minnesota, and they were headed to Detroit. And they capsized, the ship capsized in Lake Superior, killing all 29 men on board, including the captain. And the captain's name was McSorley. That was the name of the captain. It was 49 years ago today, November 10th, 1975. And then a year later, 1976, Gordon Lightfoot had come up with the song, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. I will drop a link to that song in the chat. And you know who's missing from chat this week? Chewing off my toenail. He's missing from chat this week. Actually, you know what? I won't drop a link to that song because I don't want it to start playing. You're going to hear the ads in the background, and I just assume not. But you can find it on YouTube, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. It is, in fact, probably one of the better songs he had written, and it's a song about Michigan's history, which I really can appreciate. You know, Autumn, I got to say, I thought you were handing me venison for a minute. Yeah, because of how it's wrapped in the white paper. I thought it was venison at first. It's like, this girl hunts? No, banana bread. I love banana bread. I'm going to take a big bite right now. Oh, look at that banana bread. Yummy, yummy, yummy. That is delicious. Love it. It's delicious, Autumn. It's good. I just took a big bite. It's delicious. Add a little butter on it. Hell yeah. It was delicious. It's good. You're welcome. Put some butter. I'll put some butter on it, and for sure. Yeah. Right on. So how many bananas did you have to use to wrap up in the bread?
How many bananas did you have to wrap up in the bread? 4.
So how many slices of bread did you use? Okay. You got me. I can be an asshole. You're right. It's true. It's true. No, but it's very good. It's very delicious. Yeah, she did excellent job. Very good.
You're gonna make a man.
Um,
You're gonna make a man happy wife.
So Dad, how was your week?
Uh,
Seems you're here.
it was all right. I mean,
It was long, wasn't it? It was a long week.
long week, and this month is going by quick.
Yeah, it's already the 10th. I was just telling the viewers about the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. It was 49 years ago today. 29 men, all 29 crew members were killed, including the captain. His name was McSorley. Well, it's not like the Titanic. The Fitzgerald, Edmund Fitzgerald, had nicknames. The Pride on the American Side, which that was also mentioned in the Gordon Lightfoot song. And the Fitz, or the Big Fitz, but it was the SS Edmund Fitzgerald. They were hauling iron ore from Duluth, Minnesota, and they were headed to Detroit, and they were gonna go. They were going through Lake Superior, and then they capsized. And there's two pieces. Yeah, hurricane force winds. Yeah, the waves were really high. They had freezing rain, and then like hurricane force winds, and then they capsized. And I read somewhere, I think it was on Wikipedia, that there are two pieces of the Edmund Fitzgerald. So yeah, tomorrow's the 11th. Yeah. Of course, we had the election. I talked about that. We don't need to talk about it anymore. So this week, I don't know what my plans are for this week. I'm actually not sure what my plans are for this week.
Tomorrow night?
Were you going to Pine Run tomorrow?
Yeah.
No.
Veterans Day.
I mean, if huh?
Veterans Day. Yeah.
I mean, if you got the, if you got the funds or whatever. That's the girl. Well, you can't see her off camera because she's standing off camera. But I've kind of flirted with her the last time she was here.
You already do it today.
So now my day just got 100% better. Thank you, Carly. My day just got 100% better. But yeah, we are about 25 minutes out to the end of the show. I got all my Sunday video updates scheduled for the rest of this month. So, yeah, I'll definitely be back next week, and I don't think I'll be sick next week. I'm not sick now, but it was something I ate, Dad. I think it was those carrots. Yeah, so Dad threw the carrots out. I just one bite of this banana bread, and I'm hooked. I'm addicted. I'm hooked. What did you add to it? You didn't add like a sleeping pill or anything, did you? You put THC in this? Oh, she'll never tell. She'll never tell. No, sir. Mm-mm. She'll just smile. Well, that's good. You got a beautiful smile. Oh, she ain't looking at me. Oh, she realized I was talking about her, and then she's like, oh gosh, you shouldn't have. But anyway. So Dad was talking about going out to the Pine Run Inn tomorrow night. There will not be a Sunday flashback tonight because of football, Detroit Lions football. So there will be no Sunday flashback tonight. Next week there will be. That's why I didn't drop a link in the chat, because there's really, I mean, you can still listen to Fox, 103.9 Fox, but there won't be a Sunday flashback show this week. That is awesome banana bread. Now I'm going to stop, sitting here and chomping, because nobody wants to watch me eat. Unless you're into the ASMR, then, the sound of me chomping my gums might be satisfying. Oh, how can I forget this? There is something happening this Saturday. This Saturday will be 25 years that I've been writing journals. On November 16th. Yeah. So it'll be the 25th anniversary of my journal writing. And I've been in book 133. I've been in this book since September 29th, 2023. So I'm on page 167 right now. Luna, behave. But yeah, I've been writing journals now for 25 years. Comes Saturday. So I usually, last year, I typically I do a book gathering. It's called a book gathering, where I have all my journals out. But I didn't do it last year because Mom died, and it was just, I just wasn't feeling it. This Saturday, I might do something special for the 25th. There will definitely be pictures. Okay. But anyway, so I'll definitely be doing something on Saturday to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the journal writing. So, oh yeah, well, I'm going to be writing about it. So, yeah. I'm just, I can look back like 20 years, something I wrote 20 years ago, and we were in a different world. Like my thoughts were different. I was a different person. The world was a different place. I even wrote about September 11th, which you ladies probably wouldn't. You're too young to remember that. Um, but I remember September 11th.
With Twin Towers?
They weren't born yet. No, no, no. I was around. I was in high school when that shit went down. That was one of the events I'd written about. I'd written about a lot of different things, and I continue to write about a lot of different things. In fact, the last thing I'd written about, I could tell you, was Trump being reelected. That was the last thing I had written about. Yeah, he's the first president in the history of this country to be a known criminal taking a position of power. And he is. And he is.
They need to put federal charges on his ass.
Well, he's trying to pardon himself. I think that's why he ran for
Just
presidency.
because he's a president, he can't pardon himself. He's got to go through all this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Congress,
Yep.
and I don't know. And these are people who voted for him. I want to know where their minds and their hearts are, because sometimes your mind and your heart will conflict. In your mind, something, in your heart, you feel something. So I'm kind of curious as to what they were thinking in their minds. These are, I don't base my friendships on who you vote for, whether you're Democrat, Republican. It makes not one bit of difference to me. Because I'm neither. I don't vote. But for the people who voted for this guy, and we know, and I'm not saying Kamala was any better. She wasn't. But we know about Trump. We know plenty about Trump. And y'all still voted for him anyway. So after, on January 20th, the day of his inauguration, he says that he wants to be a dictator on the first day. Well, I sure hope that's hyperbole and he's not actually serious about being a dictator. Because if he really is serious about that, guess what? We're fucked.
We're in deep shit.
Yeah. So just, and it's one of the reasons why I don't vote. I think, and I explain why I don't vote as a non-voter. I explain why I don't pick a side. It's because you can't believe everything you're told about either candidate. And they spent more time attacking each other than telling us what they wanted to do to better the country. If you're going to waste all this, ad revenue attacking each other, belittling each other, instead of saying, well, this is what I want to do, and that's what I want to do, and that's what I want to fix, and this is what I want to fix. What are you doing? You want me to vote for you because you know how to verbally attack someone, to belittle someone in a campaign ad? I'm sorry, but that's not how I would make a decision. And I think it would be, to me, it's silly, Dad, and you might agree with me on this. Don't you think it's funny how, like, with this two-party system we have, we pick and choose who gets to control us? I mean, to me, it's a little weird. To me, it's weird. I'd rather no one control me. I'd rather no one govern me. I'd rather do things at my own free will, because in this country, there's a thing called freedom, and I would like to, I don't know why my chat keeps connecting and disconnecting. Maybe it's because I'm mentioning Trump. I don't know. No, it's saying chat disconnected. Please wait while we try to reconnect you. This has happened like 3 times now. I don't know what the fuck is going on with my chat, but maybe it is political, the political talk. But I live in a country where we have freedom of speech. And people get to vote for whoever they want to vote for. And I'm not detracting people from voting. I'm just giving my reasons as to why I don't. I voted one time 20 years ago, never again. And I understand where people are coming from too. The people who do vote, they're like, well, if you don't vote for one, then you just don't give a fuck about society. You don't care about anybody. Well, no, I do care about people. I'm just not convinced that politics, that the voting process, the electoral process is a way for me to show that I give a fuck. Yeah, I care about people irrespective of who they vote for. If you treat me good, I'll treat you good, and vice versa. I treat everybody good. I try to. Collectively, I try to. Oh, Amy came into the chat. She says, hello.
At least we know your video chat's working.
Yeah, so you're all watching me in the kitchen, aren't you? Say, look at that handsome,
Then to see if the chat log was working.
look at that handsome, red-headed, bearded man. That manly man with the goatee and the mustache, and he's got the sideburns that going. What a hunk. You're welcome. I'm an attractive motherfucker. See, and it says chat's disconnected again, so I don't know what the fuck is going on with this bullshit. Maybe it's YouTube. I don't know. No, it's YouTube. It's YouTube. I don't know why the chat is fucking up, but if you can see me, leave a 1 in the chat log. Actually, if you can see and hear me. There. I don't know why the chat is fucking up, but if you can see and hear me, leave a 1 in the chat log. I don't know why it's doing that. It didn't do that last week. For some reason this week, I think it might be like the traffic on the internet, on YouTube, and it could be because of the political stuff, which I try not to talk about it, but it's hard to ignore. It's just hard to ignore because everybody knows who the candidate is and what he's like, and y'all reelected him anyway. So, when the country goes to shit, it's on you. I don't hate you for it, but you're going to be the reason for the problems that we have in the next 4 years. But Jared, you didn't vote. So you're part of the problem too. No, actually, I think if I would have voted, it wouldn't have mattered who I voted for, because either way we're screwed. Electoral votes, yeah.
It has nothing to do with what people write on paper, because the paper don't mean shit.
that's another issue that I have, is that these people who vote, doesn't matter who you vote for, they don't know you.
Or you got crooks in there that are
Yeah.
triple voting, or just getting
Yeah. Well,
votes up like they weren't
okay.
supposed to.
Yeah. These people, these candidates that you vote for, they don't know you. They don't give a fuck about you. And the tragedy is you thinking that they care about you. They don't know you. They only know you on paper. They don't know what your likes and dislikes are. They don't know your hair color, your eye color, your height, your weight, your marital status, your sexual orientation, your ethnicity, your economic status. They know nothing about you. There goes that pretty girl. Oh, her face is turning as red as my goatee. But anyway, they don't know anything about you personally. And when you show up at the voting booth, oh, well, these candidates, they care about me. They don't know you. They don't give a fuck about you. None of them do. So I figure, as a way to solve this political dilemma myself, I don't vote. In fact, if I want someone to represent me and my ideals, I'll hire someone, and the very second they are unrepresentative of me and my ideals, I can fire them on the spot and I don't have to wait 4 years. If I think I'm that special, I can hire a PR agent or a lawyer, someone who will speak for me, an advocate. But that's why I don't get involved. To me, it's just weird. Like if I was to vote, I don't know how my neighbors vote, honestly, and I don't care how they vote. But let's say, for example, they vote Republican, I vote Democrat. Does that mean that I don't like my neighbors? No, absolutely not. I get along with Jim and stuff. They're good people. And I try to get along with all my neighbors. I don't care how they vote. I don't think there's a single Republican within this mile. Although there might be one down the road. He likes to shoot his guns. I think he is a Republican. Um, I don't, the point is, I don't like my neighbors any less for who they vote for. If I get along with them for any other reason, that's great. The only issue that I have is that they voted for someone who wants to strip women of their rights. And he outright said this. And that's where I'm at an impasse. It's really hard to imagine that good-hearted people would vote in this idea that women don't have rights to their own bodies. That to me is just, it's hard to imagine that people like, good-hearted people would vote for a penalty if a woman needs if it's a life-threatening situation, such, because pregnancy can be, and they want to take away a woman's right to do so. That to me is just, it's not right. And then I have to turn to the electorate, which would so happen to be my friends, and ask them, are you sure you know what that is? And we don't consider rape victims enough. And that scares me, because these are friends of mine. Like I said, I've known for years. I've talked to them for years. While I respect who they vote for, the ideas and the policies that their candidate wants to put in place is terrifying. And that's why so many people are freaking out. And for good reason. They should. And I know abortion can be a very heated subject. And it shouldn't be coming, and this is a subject that should only be discussed, between women. Now, so I don't think, as a guy, I don't think I really should have any say about this. And I think that's another troubling issue I have with the current president-elect, who wants to, punish women. There should be a punishment for that. As a man, I don't think I should have a say in what a woman can do with her body. It's really nobody's business. At the end of the day, it's no one's business. But I don't want to think that my friends and my family, people I've loved for years, I don't want to sit back and think, my God, do they really support? Do they support that? Like, if a young girl was raped, she should have to carry her baby to term? Like, she's being forced by the government? That's a mandate. She's being forced by the government to stay pregnant. That's, I mean, it's just an across the board penalty. And I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. Although like I said, I didn't vote, and I understand where people come from. Well, if you don't vote, you have no right to complain. But I didn't vote, therefore I didn't contribute to this problem. People should have had enough common sense, instead of looking at it as, oh, they're killing babies. Well, it's not murder. It's actually a termination of a pregnancy, which is a fetus. It's not the same thing. But I'm sure I'll catch all kinds of hell for that too. Well, what do you call it then? If it's not murder, what do you call it? Abortion is killing. because it's a non-viable pregnancy. Meaning that it's not actually a developed, it's not actually a baby, it's just a fetus, which is not the same thing. I thought people knew that. Um, apparently, the educational system has once again failed in America. But we're gonna try to make this a good week. I know it was a depressing week for many people across this country. Not so much, I'm aware of what goes on, but I try not to get too deeply involved. Like I check my Facebook um periodically just to see if there's any changes in my friend's number or anything, because I don't want to offend anybody by anything I say, because sometimes it happens without actually realizing that you're doing it. And um so um I just don't want to offend anybody, and I want to make sure I just want to make sure that I'm not
And if you did, well, that's
if
your opinion.
I mean, if I've offended anyone with my opinion, well, tough.
You got my opinion.
That's my position on it.
That's your freedom of
Um
speech.
the thing of it, I understand both sides. I understand where people are saying we don't support killing babies, and of course, who does? No one does. You think abortion is easy for a woman?
Dude, that's
It's
why the guy
not.
got shot in Wausau,
Yeah.
because he had a
It's
cyanide.
not like, I mean, I can't imagine a woman with the process being as difficult as it is. I can't imagine any woman in her right mind saying, "Well, gee, I think I'm gonna go have sex and then I'm gonna get pregnant and then I'm just gonna have an abortion just for the fun of it." I don't think that's really what's happening. I I I mean, any reasonable person, right? I don't think that's what's happening. And even if it is, I mean, it's no one's business. It's the business of the individual. But I think I've made my point. I've spent the whole entire hour talking about this, and maybe perhaps I shouldn't. Um, Amy really, when we get started on that conversation, she goes off, but she doesn't go off on me. She's just very passionate about her stance, and she speaks her mind, and I'm proud of her for it. And Dad, even, he speaks his mind on a lot of issues. It's just within reason, we have to be careful what we say on YouTube, because I don't want to get a strike or anything, a community guidelines violation on my channel. So we have to be very selective and careful in what we say and do here. But reasonably speaking, we all want what's best. We're trying to make the world a better place. I don't know if politics is necessarily the way to do it. I don't have faith in the system, and that's one of the other reasons why I don't vote. I just don't have enough faith that the system is going to work in everyone's favor. There's more people, there's more of the general population than there are people in government. There's more people than resources, whether you want to believe that or not. I mean, we had a baby food shortage not long ago. That should be evidence enough for you to make a conscious assessment of the state of the world. If there wasn't more people than resources, there wouldn't have been a baby food shortage, albeit everybody is panic shopping, when COVID happened. But that should be evidence enough for you to arrive at the conclusion that, hey, there's more people than resources, and we can't accommodate everybody. Yeah, and asswipe, that we can't accommodate all these assholes. Yeah, yeah. They were buying it by the truckload. They were like baby food, which is unfortunate, because there's people out there who need to feed their babies if they can't breastfeed, and formula is the alternative to breastfeeding, and the formula is expensive. I've seen the price of diapers, and every time I walk by the aisle where all the diapers are, it's like, whew, get a whiff of those high prices. Oh my God. That's not baby shit. That's the price of the diapers. Woo! Man, that stinks. Yeah. But we have arrived at the 4 o'clock hour. I've been here for 1 solid hour already. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear. I'm sorry that my chat log was fucking up this week. I don't know what's going on. And I do apologize for that if you were trying to comment and you didn't, or you couldn't because the chat log was being stupid. I do apologize for that, but I will be back next week, same time, from 3 o'clock until 4 o'clock. Any final words, Dad, before you go?
Take care of everybody. Love your neighbor. Take care of them. Watch for them.
Yeah, and I will be celebrating 25 years of writing journals this coming Saturday. Amy, any final words?
Peace out, be safe.
Peace out and be safe. Those are usually her final words. How about Carly? Do you have any final words?
No.
No? No? Okay. I'd ask the lovely young lady outside, but I think I blushed her out the door. I hope she'll come back in. I mean, I'll behave myself. I'll be good. You know, I'll go to my room or whatever if that's what it takes. I don't care, you know. But anyway, guys, I'll be back next week. Have a wonderful week. Spread love and kindness everywhere. Just be nice to each other. Respect each other's opinions. Although, you know, a lot is going on right now. A lot's going to be said, but just be respectful. Okay. At the end of the day, all we have is each other. We got to take care of each other. So much love. I'll see you next week. Take care.